Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again with another View from the Van previewing this weekend's game against Leeds United at St James's Park, and it's rather fitting, I think, that we have Leeds United last up at St James's Park. A little bit of a special atmosphere, no doubt, to bring proceedings to a close for 2022. When you consider it was against Leeds United where this upturn in form started, and what an amazing upturn it has been since then. But yeah, you'll remember down at Ellen Road, courtesy of a John Joe Shelby free kick and a little bit of dodgy goalkeeping, let's be honest. It was a little bit dodgy, wasn't it? But yeah, courtesy of those two things, we went on an amazing run after then. It gave us such a shot in the arm of confidence, a little bit of Dutch courage, and we went on from there, didn't we? Just getting better and better and better. The players, the lads were believing. The faithful were believing as well. And then we just started racking up victories, goals, getting better with our general play, the set pieces, everything else. It just came along, and it sort of came in and started, if you will, at that moment. And then rolling into this season, it's just continued on. The confidence grows every single time. One defeat this league campaign, and that was, let's face it, more against the referees. It was more an Anfield thing than it was anything else. But interesting to see, isn't it, with them with their glass ceiling signing and all that recently, from PSV, another £44 million loan there. But I'm sure Klopp will whinge about something else. But yeah, one defeat this league season, and yeah, really going into this game confident, looking for Newcastle to continue the fine form. And you're talking about confidence boosters. The game down at Leicester was certainly that, and then some else. The game was wrapped up within, just over half an hour. 3-0, easy as you like, and it could have been much, much more. If the lads had wanted to, if they'd wanted to push on that extra a little bit, that could have easily been a 4, 5, 6 or 7-0. And I don't think they could have had much complaints about it. Newcastle were a step above. They were a step above, and when it comes to playing teams at the moment, it's just amazing to be able to sit there and watch how they go about the business, and nobody else seems to be able to counteract what we're able to offer. Our offensive machinery, the defensive unit that we've got, best in the league. Defence, best in the league with in terms of goalkeeper. He's up there. It's just unbelievable. Clean sheets, and we're scoring goals. We're scoring goals for fun, and I think with the exception of maybe Brighton, who really, really pushed us, I think that's been the biggest challenge this season. Brighton, to be honest. We had our moments against Manchester United. We could have won there. The Crystal Palace game, as has been called out for by the referees lot and the VAR review, shows that should have been a goal. So that would have been a 1-0 victory for us. So you go back over the season and you analyse things, and you think, it's amazing we're in third at the moment. We're sort of having a bit of a ding-dong battle with Manchester City, of all teams. And it could and should have been a lot better, So that is a great base to be able to go into 2023, and who knows what the next year may hold for us. Leicester are all the standard between us and a semi-final of a League Cup. If you were to get through to the final, that's guaranteed European football, you would pretty much assume. An opportunity to win a cup for the first time in many of our fans' lifetime, including mine. I'm desperate to see us win that first trophy, and that could happen next year. There's a very, very strong chance. It's not cockiness, it's not anything else like that. It's just looking at the basic facts, and there's not many teams playing better than us, and there's not many teams who want to take us on at the moment. And I'm sure that Leeds United fall into that category as well, because obviously they were comprehensively, shall we say, beaten against Manchester City on the own patch on Wednesday night. They've got to take on us on Saturday. I think that the next day is a recovery day, a day's worth of training, and then they'll be heading up to Tyneside to be able to come up to our place. We're full of confidence. The attacking mechanics of it all, they will be well aware of, but just like everybody else, I don't expect them to have an answer for it. I expect them to be a little bit tired after being given the runaround against Manchester City, and if they give us the spaces that they gave Manchester City, then I think we will take full advantage of that. You know, there's no better team in the league who can get around you and get around you quickly with the pace and the press than Newcastle at the moment. There's nobody, absolutely nobody. And again, it's not cockiness, it's just an absolute statement of facts. We've had an extra 48 hours to get fit and fresh. We've also had an extra 48 hours of Eddie Howe's tactical work, set piece work, and so on and so forth. So again, you know, looking at Eddie Howe and what he brings to the table, that's a massive, massive advantage to us over Leeds United, who are struggling just 2 points above the relegation zone. I expect them to be fine, absolutely fine this season. I think there will be a Premier League club again next season, but it's going to be close for them, there's no doubt about it. There's a whole host of teams all scraping and scrapping around at the bottom, and I'm just relieved for once we are not in that. And it feels so good, and it feels a bit strange, still takes some getting used to, that we're not involved in that conversation down towards the bottom of the league. Just absolutely amazing for us. But yes, it's going to be a difficult game for Leeds. Leeds will not have wanted to come up here after what happened on Wednesday night, but the fixtures are what the fixtures are. We know they're far from ideal, and we've just got to get on with them. And there's going to be more of this, obviously, as we try to cram games in. So hence why I think everybody's looking forward to a productive, if not an amazingly busy January transfer window for Newcastle. We still have to do some business, still have to move a few players on and bring a few players in and rebalance out and readdress some of the issues in our squad. But that's further down the line. We're looking towards Leeds. They are missing still a few players, like Bamford are still going to be missing. They're missing one or two others. The bench looks quite weak for Leeds, and no doubt as long as Nottingham Forest don't hoover up all the bastard fucking players again. Notice he's come out, so they're going to be busy. But Leeds will look to do some business, no doubt about it, in January, just to try and help them out and stuff. But it's not going to help them in this game, of course. For Newcastle, John Joe Shelby out again. So frustrating and maddening. Missed most of the first half of the season. He's going to miss a huge part of the next part, and he still needs 2 more appearances if he is to get his extra year's contract in. I don't know if it starts. I think he might struggle. Because no doubt he'll get faded and he might get the odd substitute appearance here and there, but I don't really see him forcing his way back into the midfield, especially with any signings that we may make in that department come January. Do they look to upgrade Sean Longstaff? I think Sean's nothing wrong. He was good last time out, but then that gives us an extra body on the bench in Sean Longstaff, perhaps, and then does that put more pressure on John Joe Shelby? I don't know. I think there may be some separate negotiations happening because he's on a lot of money. So, do you want to automatically renew at the same rate, or do you want to separately negotiate a new fee, given the fact that he's a very talented player, he's great, but he's not available all the time. So perhaps that comes into it. But John Joe Shelby is another conversation for another day. The team this weekend now, I've got 2 trains of thought on this one, with games coming thick and fast, and a bit of a title decider against Arsenal coming up, of course, very, very shortly. So the defence, I think, stays the same. As frustrating as that would be for a Matty Target, I just don't see, with it being the best in the league, fact, I don't see much changes. In fact, I don't see any changes to the defence. Pope will be in goal, Trippier right back, the captain in all but official title, let's face it. Fabian Schär, who's again another unsung hero, but he's done fantastic. Next to Sven Botman and Big Dan Burn, who's from Blythe, don't you know? Go check the bloody song out, it's good. it's catchy after a bit. That'll be the defensive unit that's done us so well. It'll get another game, no doubt, against Leeds, as long as nobody's picked up an injury I don't know about. Obviously recording this before Eddie's done his press conference. In midfield, this is where I think the changes may come. He may look to sort of rest and freshen players up. I think one of Willock or Sean might drop down to the bench to allow Joe Linton to come back more centrally, and then the Saint to come out wide left and to try and stake his claim, get some minutes under his belt and really push on in this second half of the campaign. I think that's where the change may come, and then that freshens up one of your central midfielders, because if you continue to play all the central midfielders all of the time, you haven't got that ability to change things in game if there's an injury. You haven't got that ability to be able to rest players, so on and so forth. So I've got a feeling he may rotate a little bit in that area, and by bringing Joe Linton back into the midfield fold, it frees up one of them two to have a breather on the bench, and then they're fresh for the next game. They come in for the next game, somebody else drops out and again gets a little bit of a rest, and you manage the squad as best we can until we get extra reinforcements that way. I think that's a definite possibility that he could do that. I'm of the old mind of it, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, and it's done fantastically well recently. The midfield has done great, but maybe that sort of creeps into Eddie Howe's thinking about squad management and the number of games that we've got coming up. So let me know what you think about that actually down below. Then up top, is this a moment where a little bit of man management is used over anything else? Chris Wood scored last time out yesterday. It was against it was a penalty kick, wasn't it? But is this the moment that he puts his arm around him and look, your performance was good, your levels was good, you got shots away, you're taking stuff on, I'm going to keep you in the starting 11, but Callum Wilson's going to be on the bench. I'm just letting you know that. And then again, it eases Callum Wilson back into the team after he's had a bit of an illness, which I know myself, it's shite, this bug that's going around like. So perhaps it allows that, and it gives Callum Wilson still a little bit of a breather, but he's there in case we need him. And at the same time, you think about man management and how that will make Chris Wood feel, and his manager's backing him even when Callum Wilson's fit. Because you know, if Wilson comes back in, he must sit there and think, well, no matter what I do, how good that I can do, he's always going to be coming back in. So does Eddie Howe keep him in, show him that little bit of faith, and keep Wilson back for the Arsenal game? That has crossed my mind several times. Me, if I'm the manager, I'll play my best players as much as that I can, and I bring Wilson straight back in, because I'm of the firm believer that Callum Wilson is one of the best Premier League strikers that there is. It's just a shame that he doesn't stay fit all of the time, or more often than not, shall we say. So I think there is a question mark up top about who will start between those two, and I think either which way, I think we'll be okay. Leeds are struggling, Leeds aren't doing great. I'm not 100% convinced with their manager. Again, I'm no disrespect to Mend or anything else like that. Leeds are a properly supported club, a traditional powerhouse. You've got the respect for them. But I don't know, I just can't see them going too far with who they've got in charge at the moment. I'm not meaning to make it's not meant to be said clever or anything else like that, but I just think Leeds will switch manager sooner rather than later, and maybe that gives them that little bump that they need, a little bit of a new manager bounce, if you will, that keeps them up in the league for another season and stuff. Perhaps it happens like that. But yeah, with Newcastle, I am confident. We get about them early doors. We try and get the first goal scored nice and early in the first half. It boosts the crowd, it boosts the atmosphere, and then we go on and we have a comfortable day at the office. I see this as a 2-0 or a 3-0 victory, again, with the greatest respect. I just don't see, from what I saw Leeds against Man City and what I've seen from Leeds this season in general, I think given the fact of our defensive record, and our ability to score goals. You know, it all suggests, along with their injuries, that it's going to be a Newcastle win, and quite a comprehensive Newcastle victory. So a 2 or 3-0 one, and they'll want to send the supporters home happy and a positive end of the year. And again, to take this positive energy, this positive momentum, this confidence, this swagger into the Arsenal game. So they will want to do the business, no doubt about it whatsoever. And they won't want to tarnish the results with a surprise shock defeat at the hands of Leeds United. If we are to lose, it needs to be against the teams higher up the league. And so far, and again, not being to be disrespectful or anything else like that, but with the exception of Brighton, even the game that we lost, that was lost through shithousery and fucktardery and fucking brown envelopes. Yeah, that was shocking, that game. That's the only reason we lost that game. And apart from that, we haven't lost a game this season. Some of the draws that we've had should have been victories. That's came out in the wash recently. They've admitted that they've made mistakes, and that's cost us victories. And where we've only picked up draws, it's cost us points, no doubt about it. But yeah, we are where we are, and I think we're in a fantastic position to push on in this second half of the season. We're in a fantastic position to be able to attract high calibre, quality, young players to the squad, to be able just to continue this meteoric rise up the football pyramid. Some of the other clubs have stuttered and stumbled and aren't where they probably would have expected to have been. So we must take full advantage, and Eddie Howe, the recruitment team, will be fully aware of it. There's no doubt we're looking into markets that we haven't exploited for a while, really getting the use out of having the likes of Dan Ashworth about. You've only got to look at his record that he's done elsewhere, where he's picked gems up for next to nothing, and you look at them now and they're being linked for moves for like 70 and 75 million pound from Brighton. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's so exciting. There's so much to look forward to as a Newcastle United fan, whether it's the January transfer window coming up, the game against Arsenal, the last game of 2022 against Leeds, a potential cup run, the chance to get into the semi-final of the League Cup. Everything, there's just so much positives, there's so much positivity at the football club. It is absolutely, truly fucking amazing. And I think we deserve it after 14 years of pound for pound and skinflinting and cutting back and looking for fourth bottom. It's just absolutely amazing, and I think every Newcastle United fan is just enjoying it for what it is. Now, they're going to come up, they're going to have noisy fans, they're going to be pushing and trying everything possible, but I just think, look, get out the traps, get the first goal, and I think if we get that first goal, I think their confidence drops, and then it's a 2 or 3-0 game all day long. The question marks will come over selection. Will Bruno get a goal? Will Miggy get a goal? I'm looking forward to the partnerships that are working so well all over the park. You talk about the centre-back partnership for Sven Botman and Fabian Schär. You look at Kieran Trippier and Miguel Almiron, and look at the difference this lad, compared to previous campaigns and stuff like that. Miggy and Bruno, of course, in the middle, Bruno and Joe Linton. And I'm just going tomorrow with the confidence that we will see Newcastle United goals. Can't wait to see all the lads. Can't wait to sample the atmosphere. Can Leeds United stop this Miggy run? I don't honestly think that they can. Again, no disrespect, but other managers have had a go, and you know what's coming. You know what's coming with the movement, the left foot having no right foot, but nobody, possibly with the exception of Brighton, has been able to find an answer to it. I thought Brighton was the most difficult game that we've had this season. If you agree or disagree, let me know down below in the comment section. But Brighton was a tough day at the office, and we still came out with a point out of that game, which is good, and it's respectable against a good team. But yeah, I can't see Leeds living with it, and whether it's Newcastle, with the high press and the tempo, get themselves an early goal in the first half and we go on and win, or if it's a tight game and we get into the second half and they just run out of steam after the exertions of Wednesday night, whether we win it because we can bring on good substitutions. If the Saint is still on the bench, we can bring St Maximum on, we can bring Jacob Murphy on. You'd probably strike the woodwork. Might be worth a few quid on for a bet for that one. But we can make changes in the second half and call on the bench to be able to influence the game. If Callum Wilson's starting on the bench, we can bring Callum Wilson on. So there's lots of different possibilities, and I think whether it's an early goal or a goal later on in the game, whatever scenario it is, if it's a cagey game or whether it's Newcastle just attacking after attack after attack after attack, I think either which way it goes, I don't see Newcastle not coming out with the 3 points. Not very often that I say 3-0, because you don't like to be eating humble pie, but I just can't justify any other way that I see Leeds sort of really, unless it's a fluky goal, you know, like it flies in off somebody's ass. I don't see them scoring, so I don't see them winning. I don't see any scenario where Leeds leave with all 3 points. I really don't. And I just think the players will want to finish the end of this year in a good fashion and send the fans home happy. And I just think all these factors, all these little things, all point to one thing, and that is us winning. Again, if you think anything else different, let me know down below in the comments. What do you think Eddie's going to go with? What would you go with regards to team selection? And are you excited, or are you already sick to the back fucking teeth of the January transfer window and all the speculation that comes from that? Newcastle, yeah, we've been linked with everybody. Some of the links are absolutely ridiculous, like I think it was the Jorginho one. We won't be signing 31, 32-year-old players unless they are real top draw in a desperate position. You know, you're thinking like a Kieran Trippier more. I think our blueprint is going to be those younger end players between 18 and maybe 24, 25 who can get better at our club. I think that's where we're going to be going more to it. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing as well the players that go out, because I think we've got a little bit of deadwood we need to move on. I also think we need to find a move for Elliot Anderson. I think we need to find a loan move. I'm not for a second saying that we should get rid of him. He's a fantastic prospect, a fantastic talent, but is he getting the minutes at the club that he needs? And the answer is no, nowhere near it. He needs to be playing week in, week out, maybe in a championship club, and then come back next season and at least be getting cup starts, or at least getting good minutes off the bench or something like that. So I'd like to see Elliot Anderson actually head out on loan. So fingers crossed we get a good championship loan. None of this Middlesbrough and Sunderland shit, none of that crap, but a good championship loan. And it would be of course amazing to see Elliot Anderson not one past one of those two as well if he was to head out on loan. So winner and all that sort of thing. But yeah, we'll have a separate video for the Arsenal game. In years gone by, I have shit bricks over the likes of this fixture because of the football that they play and the football that we played. Those two things together was never ever a real healthy meeting of minds. But now, top of the table, championship clash, you might argue and you might say so. So yeah, separate video for that coming up very shortly. But yeah, first and foremost, Leeds game, it is going to be difficult. They are going to be well set up, drilled and motivated, no doubt about it. But all of the indicators point to a comprehensive win for us. But as long as we get those 3 points, that is all that matters. And who knows, we might be back to second again after this, you know, round of fixtures. So fingers crossed. We're down to third at the moment, but you've got to keep pinching yourself and remind yourself that only a year ago we were second bottom, and now we're talking about second top and maybe even higher. So it's amazing how things turn around really quickly. The difference a year can make. What a year it's been. Yeah, if you've got some of your highlights, let me know down below. And just a big shout out everybody, the first of all is watched all the video. Second of all is supported Magpie 24/7. Just gone over 83,000 across all of the different accounts, including TikTok and stuff. That's a bit of a newbie to the batch of stuff that we've been doing. So yeah, a major shout out. Thank you for your continued support. I know there's lots of different options out there, but for you to take time to like, to subscribe, to comment, to join in the debate, it does mean a heck of a lot to myself and to Kyle as well, who we both run all the pages just ourselves. So yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. Thank you for your continued support for Magpie 24/7. If you haven't liked or subscribed, I would appreciate if you could hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, the follow button, everything. Click everything. Go on and click. Yeah, click Omania or whatever it is. But yeah, as long as you do, continue to support us. And yeah, it looks like it is going to be an amazing second half of this season, an amazing 2023. And I just can't wait. I can't wait. The World Cup break, it was just like, oh my word, is it not over yet? Is it not over yet? England is predictable as ever, of course. But now we're back to the bread and butter of it. Premier League football at St James's Park. Special atmosphere. Looking forward to seeing what War Flags and stuff is doing as well. Look like they're doing another awesome display. Just can't wait. Cannot wait, like a kid on Christmas Eve. And we'll leave it there. And in the meantime, take care. Keep it tuned. Keep it Magpie 24/7. Let's keep winning, lads. And I'll speak to you later.